All right. First of all, if you could talk to me about what would you like your legacy to be? I know a lot of people see you as an icon, a national treasure, a gem, but what does that mean for you? What do you want your legacy to be?
Um, I think if I can be known as someone who was bold and brassy and um, and but combined with being a nice person, because I think a lot of people who have positions of power are self-consumed, and they have no they won't get outside of themselves. And I think that one of the reasons why I just really am impressed with my husband is that he's always said to me, take your work seriously, don't take your critics seriously, and don't take yourself seriously.
I love that.
Okay.
It's hard, though, in this industry.
Sure, it is, because it's such a all about me industry. And I think that if you know full well that there are a lot of men in particular who I say have big shot itis, and they
I like that word, Connie.
and they are so insufferable that we as women can be easily ignored.
Yes.
Because they think they're king of the hill. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a man. I mean, I'm married to one. So, but the fact is that I don't know. I think if we all did not take ourselves so seriously, it'd be a better world.
Yes, I agree with you. But Connie, I have to ask you though, I mean, you talk about being bold and brassy, and we know that you are and you were. I mean, you broke into the journalism boys club, and you talk about how you had to act like a boy.
Yeah.
You have to deal with sexism and racism. Can you tell me a little bit about how did you act like a boy or to break in?
Well, I just took on characteristics of their playbook. I mean, from the boys' playbook. I was, I could walk into a room and command respect the way men did. I didn't kind of sneak in, or be shy about anything. I brought my voice lower to sort of mimic their voices, so that I wasn't a squeaky little voice. I mean, simple things. I acquired their moxie and their self-assuredness and their confidence, and but I also developed a terrible potty mouth, and they were shocked that this little lotus blossom could utter some really outrageous words. They didn't know what to do with me, because I would lay a sexist or racist remark on them before they did it to me, and they were left really kind of speechless. But that was my MO. I certainly don't recommend it to anyone. It was just what I felt I had to do at that time.
But I find it so admirable, I have to add, Connie, because you were at a time when there were so many different challenges. I mean, you paved the way for so many of us. Vicki from NBC and I were just talking about that. And, something I think about, we're also celebrating your book, Connie, the memoir. And I'm curious to know from you, because I feel as Asian Americans, it's not a natural part of our life to open about our family history, about sexism, racism, the things we face, right? Mm-hmm. So what would you say was the most difficult part for you to open up in writing your book?
I think the bad times. In other words, when I was fired from my dream job, from co-anchoring the CBS Evening News, I really needed to figure out how to put it. How do I find a way without being a crybaby? And because I don't believe there's any crying in news, there's no crying in baseball, and Tom Hanks is right. There is absolutely no crying in baseball. So I was very torn about how to deal with it, because one of the worst things is to read someone's book and say, she's just carrying on about all the she's being woe is me. I didn't want to be woe is me, because I didn't feel that that's what happened. And so it was a delicate balance, you know.
Well, and I have to ask you this because I was taking note about this. We talk about balance, right? Mm-hmm. So your Kathleen Gingrich interview, 1995,
yeah.
You've received backlash, you've received criticism. How did you balance the journalist integrity with the public's interest in how much information they should know?
It's always a tough balance, you know, with every story. So I just... I had to do what I had to do. Each story was a different sort of situation. You know what? I think we better...
Yeah? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You know?